Hey folks, Rob here, and tonight, before we start YouTube, this is strictly a disassembly, cleaning, and reassembly video. There is no modifications whatsoever to this gun. We're simply demonstrating how to properly disassemble, clean, maintain a safe firearm, and reassemble a firearm after cleaning. So there is no modifications whatsoever to this gun. We are not changing anything about the gun other than we're doing a cleaning process in order to have a safe and functional firearm. With that said, guys, we're going to take apart the IWI Jericho 941, and we're going to give it a cleaning. I want to talk about this one a little bit because this is kind of a, I don't know. I think that this gun probably has a polygonal barrel. And like I said when I bought this video, and I want to give a shout out to the guys at Bypass Pond. They are the one that made this possible. When these come in, they had 15 of them. They sold out in one day. So they're no longer available. The boxes were covered with dust. They'd obviously been sitting in a warehouse for a long time. And in some research, I was best I can find, IWI stopped producing polygonal rifling barrels between 2005 and 2007. So that would put this gun at its latest 2007. And I just bought this gun new in 23. So that would mean this gun had to have been sitting on a shelf for what, 16 years? Somewhere this gun has been unsold. But we're going to look at the rifling. You tell me what you think. But I think it's polygonal. It's not conventional rifling. And we're going to take this apart and look at it. I'm going to be using my Hunt Pro kit here to clean it with. We got some hoppies out here that our good buddy Bill sent us, and we're going to take this thing apart and give it a good cleaning. We're going to look at the barrel, and y'all can tell me what you think about that. But before you start cleaning any firearm, you want to check that it is unloaded, and it is. And we'll remove the magazine. There's nothing in the magazine, and we are clear and unloaded. So with the Jericho, it's kind of similar to a CZ. You want to line up your two marks there, and this will push out from the back side. Now, the first time I took this apart, that was relatively hard, but that time it came out relatively easy. So with that off, you just simply slide your frame forward. You have your slide, or I should say slide your slide forward. And there you have your barrel. You have your recoil spring, and that is a dual spring. It is a smaller spring inside of a larger spring. So it is a dual recoil spring, but it's not captive. So we're going to lay that aside, and we're going to take a look at this barrel, because I do believe that this is, well, let's clean it first, because that way we can get a better look at it. But I do believe that that is polygonal rifling. So the very first thing we're going to do, we're going to focus on this barrel so we can take a look at it. I got me a rag here, and I have my Hunt Pro brush set up here, and we're going to dip this bronze brush in a little bit of hoppies that Bill sent us over. And that actually ain't really tight enough. That's a 30 caliber kit, but you know, technically 9mm is 30 caliber, but it's more 35 caliber. So we may have to, let's get rid of this, because that ain't really tight enough in my opinion. Let's just lay that aside and bring out our, because this is probably not that dirty, our Real Avid bore snake and wire brush, and let's just use that. So we're going to pull this through there a few times, and we've got some hoppies in there already. So let's pull our bore snake through. And of course, with the Real Avid, your case is your handle to pull through, and it actually comes through better from that side. So you pull it through there, and then you pull through. Let's run that through there one more time. Make sure we get, because I want y'all to get a good look at this bore, because I do believe it is polygonal board. And if that's the case, that would make this gun an old gun that is brand new. And I'm sure maybe these set in a warehouse somewhere. Alright, you look at that and you tell me if you don't think that is polygonal. Let's do a little brushing on our feed ramp. Let's clean this barrel up real good before we start looking at it. Got some hoppies on my brush. Yeah. Now let's run our bore snake through it one more time. And that says 60 on that barrel. So I don't know if that means anything to you guys or not. But I do believe that is polygonal board. I do believe. You tell me what you think, but I think it is. That doesn't look like conventional rifling to me. Looks like polygonal. And in that event, that would make this a old new gun. I think we're pretty good. I don't think we need to pull that through it again. So we're going to set that aside. We're going to take our slide. And let's get our rag over here so we don't make too much mess on our bench. And I've shot this a few rounds, but not a lot. We put some rounds to it. Let's take our little brush and some hoppies, and let's just clean this off with some hoppies. Clean up in there around where our barrel lock is, and just give it a good scrubbing. And then we'll take our rag and rub off any excess and give us a good wipe down. Making sure we get our breech face good. Get that good and clean. If you got any buildup under your extractor there, make sure you get under your extractor good. And just give it a good wipe down and cleaning. I still am a big fan of hoppies. Now, like the CZ, the rails on this are internal, so they ride inside the frame as opposed to outside the frame. So you have a full length rail on your slide itself. There's some more markings. A1 or AI. So any of you guys that are IWI or Jericho experts might be able to help me date this thing. I don't know if there's a serial number lookup on these guns or not. I haven't looked to see. But anyway, there is our slide cleaned. This is a beautiful gun. We're going to reinsert our barrel and our guide rod. And we're going to seat that back in its place. And we'll set that aside and check out our frame. I don't want to make this a real long video. We're just going to give this a good clean. I want to talk about the probability of whether this is a new production gun or a old production gun that has just been in a warehouse for years. Now you can see the frame itself is Z1 marked. That's the only markings I see on it. There's our, I don't know if the serial number tells anything or not, but that is our number. This is IWI made in Israel. That's the only markings I see on it. It is a beautiful gun. So we're going to take our brush and just do a little cleaning in here. Go inside our rails. So like I said, the slide rides inside the frame as opposed to outside like most other firearms. So give that a little brushing. Wasn't real dirty. Then we're just going to wipe it down. Give it a good wipe down. Get most of the hoppies off you can. Clean it as well as you can get down into it. This gun hasn't been shot a whole lot. These guns are known to shoot thousands and thousands of rounds, so I'll probably never wear this out in my lifetime. So we look pretty good there. Now we're going to do a little oiling. And I'm going to use some CLP, and I'm going to put a drop right there on the hammer and a drop here on this spring, a little drop there, a drop here on the trigger assembly. We're going to get a drop inside of each of those rails, and that's pretty much it. That's as far as we're going to draw oil, because we don't need tons of oil. I took this gun straight out of the box, and so we're going to use a little oil right here on top of our barrel and where our pin goes through. Put a drop right there, and that's about it. And as you can see, I just put a touch of oil there, just a drop, and that should be sufficient to make this gun run perfectly. Now to reassemble, slide your rails inside of your frame. As you can see, the does ride inside. You want to realign your marks and take your pin, reinsert it, making sure to go straight in. Let's make sure our marks are aligned. We don't want to give it a dummy scratch. And there we go. And there we are. And just give it a wipe down. These don't appear to be blue. They appear to be a black, some type of finish. I don't know if it's a melanite or what the finish is on this, but it is a black finish. Another thing, most of the newer Jerichos come with a black barrel, not a stainless barrel, so that is another difference. But anyway, guys, just wanted to do a quick video. We'll wipe down the outside of our magazine with our oily rag here. You don't want to oil your magazines, you just want to keep them from rusting. And there we go. We have our Jericho 941 disassembled, cleaned, and reassembled. So, guys, if you know anything about these guns, and you can tell me a little bit about maybe why this gun is the way it is, that I just bought it in 2023, and it appears that the last they made that type of barrel was in 2007. If you are an expert on these, please let me know what you know about it. Anyway, guys, appreciate you watching. Till the next video, we'll see you later.